All right, here we go. This one is very impromptu. We have Jeannie Erin over here on the stool. It has been brought to our attention that this is going to be a impromptu Q&A. This is the Vital Wire. All right, I guess this is where I get to hand over the controls, which is fine. I like it when other people can just take it and run with it, and I can just sit back and answer accordingly. Believe it or not, I'd rather be in that scenario. Everybody's like, man, you just like you're probably one of those people that like to have your hands on a lot of things, and you know. I was like, well, yeah, not from a controlling standpoint, but I do like things to look a certain way, be a certain way, but I really, really enjoy when people can see that vision and help do it.
Yeah.
So it does take a lot of trust for me to hand over the reins. But
if there's anybody that can handle it.
With discomfort comes growth. Yeah, this will be interesting. With discomfort comes growth. So there's the lesson today. I'm just going to jump right to the point. Lesson of today is with discomfort comes the most growth. That's the point. If you shut it off now, you learned what you needed to learn. However, you might want to stay tuned.
You might learn something.
Let's go.
All right, everybody. So I'll start at the very beginning, you guys.
That's usually where you want to start.
All right.
My mom's name is Kim.
All right.
Where were you guys born?
I was born in South County at St. Joe's Hospital. My dad's from Greece. My mom is from
She
here.
didn't ask those questions. She asked where you were born.
She's elaborating.
I tend to elaborate on the story. But yeah, I was born and raised here in Missouri. I've lived one other place, and that was Florida when I worked at Disney, and that's about it.
I was born in Tarzana, California, which is in the Valley. I claim Cuba, Missouri, as far as where I grew up, but I was born in Tarzana, California. So Simi Valley, Ventura County, Calabasas, Thousand Oaks is what people would know.
Yeah. When did you move?
Boy.
I moved, it would have been, it was May, I believe it was May 1994. So.
Wasn't even born yet.
I was one.
Imagine that. Yeah, I'm old. So a lot of people know the earthquake that happened in California in 1994. Mm-hmm. There was freeways collapsing, so I was in that earthquake. I was at my grandparents' house.
So crazy.
Nothing happened really to our house. There was some value in it. Mom and Dad sold it. We moved to Cuba, Missouri, 1994.
That's when you moved. So then you grew up there.
And grew up in Cuba. Yep. So I just turned 7. And so 7 to now, I've been in Missouri for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you guys go to high school?
I went to Notre Dame High School. It's in kind of the between St. Charles County, St. Charles City, or St. Charles, St. Louis County, St. Louis City.
They didn't teach geography at Notre Dame.
They did, but I was didn't pay attention maybe to that class. No, it's like Jefferson Barracks Park. Mm-hmm. It's right on the edge of that. I remember one time.
Down by the river.
Literally down by the river. We were not in vans, though.
Cuba, Missouri is my answer. Cuba High School.
Yeah.
I graduated with 84 kids.
I passed your high school that one time.
Well, it wasn't hard to pass our high. Oh, you mean
Huzzah.
physically?
When I went to Huzzah Valley, I passed your high school.
Float City, USA.
Yeah.
I think I had 78 in my class.
Because your school's expensive. We didn't have it. We had more cows than people.
More cows than people.
And we loved it.
We were an only girls' school, so it's not like we could, there wasn't a ton of class numbers.
True. When you were that age, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I was convinced I was going to be a world-renowned actress and dancer. Mm. Yep, I was going to, right out of high school, go sign with an agency and just live my best life. No kids, no boy, no nothing, just be a girl boss in a celebrity form.
Saw how that turned out for her.
We're not there yet. What did you want to be at that age?
What's that age?
High school.
High school?
Yeah.
Oh, at 17, I was like, if I'm not playing baseball, I'm gonna be a chiropractor.
Okay. Well, before that,
Well,
like right now, my 5-year-old nephew wants to be like a contractor. What do you want to like? What do you want to be?
It was athlete, baseball player, race car driver, probably. If it was more of a profession, not a sport. I feel like I've always been in a critical thinking realm of some sort. I want to say it was healthcare, but I guess the other one would be like a custom contractor, architect, something like that.
I can see that. You do put up shelves well.
He also loves to do floor plans and stuff,
Yeah.
like design houses and stuff.
So I
It's
designed
really
the
fun.
office. I
Yeah.
designed the layouts of the office and the
Both
design.
offices.
Yeah, both offices. I've drawn plans. Now I say I draw plans. I've drawn layout for maybe the home. Hopefully we get to build one day.
It
Yeah.
would be so
I don't know if
cool,
it's
too.
correct or not, but I enjoy doing it. So
It
I'd have loved to
looks
learn
really
it.
cool.
I'd have loved to learn the ins and outs of architecture.
Of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys go to Lindenwood. Tell me about your story there.
Well, we went to London.
Well, yeah, you don't go there anymore.
So I committed to going to Lindenwood my junior year of high school. They gave me an 85% dance scholarship and begged me to get a certain grade on the ACT so that they could actually admit me.
Justify it.
For that price. And I exceeded their expectations on that, which was nice. And then I actually, on a whim, my senior year summer, I went down and I auditioned for Walt Disney World to be a full-time entertainment cast member down there because my friend wanted to go and she didn't want to go by herself. She was auditioning for face character stuff, and so I went parade route. And I auditioned. I got through all of it, and then this is relevant to my college story because it
It's relevant. We'll get more into the Disney in a second.
But my freshman year of college, I got a call in November from Disney World asking me to move right then and there. And I was really excited, obviously, very confused. I went into Jan's office. I literally hightailed it to Jan and I was like, what do we do? And she was like, see if they can extend your employment until after exams.
Yeah.
And if they'll still extend that offer, essentially. And they did. And then Lindenwood was able to work with me and they were really cool about it. I was able to get full-time what's it called? Hours. So like 12 hours, I think 12 credit hours,
Yeah,
I think is like full time.
Yeah.
So I spent an entire year almost an entire year, semester, whatever you want to call it, down there, getting full-time hours so that I could keep my scholarship.
Right.
And then come July, I moved back and started in the fall again.
Nice.
So like I had like a full first semester of college and then I had a full 7 months of working professionally as a full-time cast member at Disney, doing all the shows and parades. It was really, really fun. Got bored and came back up here. And then that semester is when he came into my life and I met him. Fun fact.
But pause. What all did you do at Disney? You did shows and parades,
Yep.
but can you expose what you did there?
No.
Let's not expose. Just explain.
Who were you?
Well, we're not allowed to say. So I'm not allowed to say who I was. I was not a face character. So I wasn't any of the princesses or anything. We did as full-time.
That would be miserable.
Yeah.
To just walk around and be somebody you're not all day. Like, it would be miserable. I'd rather.
You can't tell
If I
anyone.
had to pick between the two, it's like, put me in a damn costume so nobody can see my face and then I can act a fool. But it's like, I'm not going to be
That
like,
was honestly my favorite.
Well, I don't even know which one, I guess all the princesses are Disney. Whatever, Ariel, I guess, would be one of them. It's like, ooh, I'm Ariel. It's like, you got to be literally the face of that person. It's like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so I didn't do face characters. There was a parade where I was a fairy, but we just were the colors of the other fairies.
Ooh, that's
so they
fun.
weren't actually the fawn or the whatever.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell was on her
That's a
float and
deer.
then we were it's also the nature fairy in Disney.
Not Bambi. Is Bambi Disney?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But So I was a parade performer, which means I was just like in a normal costume down the parade route. I did their shows that were just normal as well. I did the flash mob in, I don't even know what it's called anymore. Goodness gracious, it's been such a hot minute. But I mean, I did those things. I was trained in other parades and things for all of Disney World. So I was trained in Hollywood Studios. I was trained in Animal Kingdom. I did stuff in Epcot. Which they didn't really have shows per se besides like contracted shows because those are way different. But they like to keep me in Magic Kingdom. So I basically was, they call them bids. I was bid there 7 days a week. So, 6 days a week because you got one off. And so I did all of the parades throughout the entire day. And then we would leave as the fireworks were ending. And then we would come back the next morning ready to go. But yeah, I mean, I did get to do some fur characters, and that was really fun. Some of them were fun, some of them weren't. But I enjoyed when I got to do a couple of them down parade route because one of them was the drunk cat. I'm just not going to say the name, and then everybody can guess. But I literally got to act like an idiot, like the entire parade. Like it didn't matter at that point because you're supposed to be in character. So like you're supposed to do all this choreography, but oops, like he's drunk. He's just going to try and ask for high fives from people and miss. Like, it was so fun like that, but that's what I did. But yeah.
Perfect. Dustin, what's your journey to Lindenwood?
He's got quite the journey.
I know. Fill us in.
Yeah, so let's see, graduated high school in 05. Followed my pitcher to a JUCO, ended up leaving there. Had a tryout opportunity down in Florida. Got offered an opportunity to stay, turned it down. Dad cried. I became a chiropractor is my short story. But after I turned that down, it was St. Patrick's Night, 2006, I think. I left and moved back to LA for just basically to cut the cord.
Yeah.
And get away from what was comfortable. So I intentionally did that. So I left that night, went from Cuba to Tulsa, and then Tulsa to Flagstaff, stayed with friends at Flagstaff for about 8 hours, and then Flagstaff to LA. And I was there until 2011. August of 2011 was when I came back. My brother, Brett, was at Lindenwood at the time.
Gotcha.
He graduated in 2010, so he was he was starting his junior year maybe, and I was just coming back to visit.
Yeah.
So I had a round trip ticket, and that was end of July, and flew out here, sent Mom back on my ticket, never went back to LA. I've been back once. That was for my cousin Bobby's wedding, and that was almost probably maybe 10 years ago now.
I was gonna say
I haven't been back to LA since really. So 2011 started Lindenwood.
Yeah.
Biochem degree in 2.5 years, 3 years, and started. Then that's when I started Logan was 2014. So I was there 2011 to fall of 2011 to winter of 2013.
Yeah.
And I did all of that at once.
And fun fact, I started college in 2011. So we were both technically freshmen at Lindenwood doing like all the freshman things the same year, but we didn't meet.
I didn't know each other.
The other thing that I'll totally I will expose myself here is I came back.
Not in that way. If you're watching, you'll understand.
My legs
will
stay crossed. No, but this is one thing I do want. Yeah, I don't mind people knowing this about me, but I hope it's inspirational to a lot of student athletes as well. So I decided I was going to stay. I was like, I'm going to this school.
Right.
Well, there has to be application process.
Right, absolutely.
So my brother who's super good at relationships, had, the dean of students, had the dean, Michelle Giesman was there at the time for housing. Like he was he had great relationships with a lot of people. So they fast tracked me. They're like, look, here's where you go. Here's how we got to do this. Boom. I get called into the dean of students' offices, and I get an email saying your application's been declined.
Right.
It's like, this is good. I was like, well, I don't have an option. Mom's on her way to LA to get my
already
essentials.
sent her home. Yeah.
And so I said, we're gonna make this happen. So I walked into the dean at the time. I walked in. He's like, what are you doing here? I was like, I don't know if you know what I'm doing here, but I'm about to tell you. And they were looking through my paperwork, and they're like, do you realize you graduated high school with a 1.9 GPA? I think on paper it was like a 2.1 or something like that. But I tell that story too because it's like, pretty smart guy.
Yeah.
And so, but I tell a lot of athletes too, it's like, I really do believe I was bored. I always went to school. I never missed school. We've all played hooky in here or there most part, but I always went to school, was never really late, didn't mind going to school. I just didn't do it.
Right.
So I was that person that they wanted on the field and kind of just helped me skate my way through. So he's like, there's nothing I can do. I was like, we got to do something. Told him the scenario. And I said, I will write you a letter. I will write you a formal letter. You can put me on probation the whole time I'm here. I'll meet with you. I'll do homework in your office. I was like, I'm just asking for a chance.
Right.
And so I think my first semester I had a 3.89. And I was like, you want me to keep? I was like, I'll do whatever you want. He's like, didn't think you had it in you. I was like, I don't think anybody did.
Yeah.
He said, I knew I did. I said, but I don't think anybody did. And I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity. He's like, no, we're good here. Don't mess up. I was like, okay.
That's awesome.
So that was the whole Lindenwood story.
The whole story we were asking for.
It's such a good story though. Because it's so true. Because we all know those athletes. I mean, my brother was one of them and he admits it too. Not my younger brother, my older brother admits it too, that he's like, I could have gave 2 shits about school, but they wanted me on that field, so they made it happen for me.
I loved my time at Lindenwood too. Like I'm like I get things very quickly, and one of my good friends, Dustin Bogart, helped me a lot through the degree program, just because of the way I think. Like he just gets it and goes. It's like, this is just the way it is. I got it. Right. Where I have to really understand it. So he was good for breaking it down with me. So it's like it still wasn't easy for me. Like smart, yes, but I learned a lot on how I learn at Lindenwood. And it carried into Logan, and it carries into kind of how I teach and speak and still learn, but how I teach and speak to these different kids and different athletes now too that we see. So Lindenwood was a lot of fun. I'd go back in a heartbeat. I tell people that all the time. I know things have changed a lot at Lindenwood now. A lot of it for the better too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'd go back to Lindenwood in a heartbeat.
You can have alcohol on campus now.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Lindenwood.
Yeah. How'd you guys meet then?
Technically through around in a roundabout way through the OG online dating, because LU used to have a Facebook page called LU Singles.
It was fresh.
No way.
It was fresh. Like it had only been up like 4 months, but that's not the whole story.
Oh, I was like, you guys the OG?
I was not on LU Singles.
He was not on LU Singles. My roommate and I placed a bet on each other.
Yes.
Like we would we always went to Buffalo Wild Wings, the LU Buffalo Wild Wings right there. And we were like
it's one of the best ones.
Oh,
it really is. But we went every single week. It was like our roomie date was that. And so we made a bet that like the first person to get a response had to pay that week. So we each made a post. Yeah. And I was the first response. But we also, within that, if we got a response, the first person to respond, you had to actually go out on a date with. So I made my post, she made hers. I got a response, she didn't.
Who was it?
What?
Who was? I'm trying to speed up the story so we don't lose time.
Oh, sorry. I like making my stories long. So the person that responded ended up being his roommate, and I went and we walked campus. That was like our date, and he was so sweet, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of fun. And then I ended up meeting his friends, and his friends happened to be Dustin, his roommate, and then my other friend Alex, and then at the time Dustin's girlfriend. And so Alex is always our +2, that's what we call her.
Alex and I were best friends.
Yes,
I was dating
literally
her best friend at the time.
Yes,
and Alex and I, she's like the sister I never wanted.
Quite literally. She's so fun. I love her.
Yeah, so I was dating somebody at the time, and Alex was her best friend. So
we started hanging out, and all of us together as a group started hanging out, and we just all got close. We started doing double dates together. We went golfing together and all of this stuff, and then his roommate and I went through a little rough patch, and Dustin actually tried to keep us together. He was like, look, he's never had a girl like you. You're just something special to him. He's just really excited. Give him a chance, give him a chance. Yeah. And then that summer, by the end of summer, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't anymore. I'm just done. And then we didn't speak for 4 months. And then I randomly Snapchatted him right before semester started of my junior year. And then we started.
Well, I think that was after Lauren got her bride idea.
No, probably.
Yeah. Because there was a random evening where Lauren likes to try to set Erika up, I guess, and like make her feel all awkward in all kinds of scenarios. But they love it together.
Yeah.
I think they do it together on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like,
We
yeah, let's
do.
just go do something awkward. Like,
Yeah.
let's just make fools of ourselves. No, I'm not. I shouldn't say that.
We make fools of ourselves. But
Let's go be awkward for a minute.
But then after that, we started Snapchatting, and then we hung out once.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what the heck? I actually like this guy. Why do I like him? This is weird. I don't like hanging out with people. Like, I was not like, I didn't like hanging out with guys. I'm very independent. Like, that's one of the reasons why him and his roommate and I didn't work out, because he would treat me so nice and so sweet and want to do all of these things for me. And like, come to find out now, acts of service is my lowest one. So it would piss me off. Yeah. And like, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And so like, I needed my independence, and I actually wanted to sit and watch the Blues game with him. I actually wanted him to come over, and I just didn't understand it at the time.
Yeah, because Lauren had just randomly said, they were going on a walk across campus. She gets this bright idea to say, she like texts me and said, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm studying for organic chem. And she's like, well, come walk across campus with us. We're just going to go hang out. We're taking a break from study too. I was like, no, I got to study. She's like, you're going to want to come down here. She's like, it's like, okay, got it. And that was, so we walked across campus and we just chilled. And then after that, it was just like, I wouldn't even say rekindled, because it wasn't like, we never on these double dates were like batting eyes at each other.
Right.
Like,
No. I mean, I had maybe spoke like actually 3 sentences to him directly.
Right.
Like, we literally, that was it.
It was
like,
always a part of common conversations.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, it was.
Yeah. After that, literally, like, I wouldn't say inseparable, but like, we never wanted to not be with each other after that. It was almost like it just like clicked immediately.
I was joking with her. I was like, if you want, you can come to the gym with me at about 4:30 in the morning. If you want, she goes pick me up. I'm like,
yep, I did. I was like, I have that
and
membership.
she texts me. I'm like, getting ready to leave the door. She's like, are you coming? I'm like, wait.
I was ready.
She's up. What?
She was ready to work
So yeah, that was the beginning.
So then you go to Logan, you graduate. What happens next?
So that was really like September. We were kind of, I guess how the kids say it nowadays, seeing each other. We weren't dating yet. It was New Year's Eve.
You guys were talking.
We were talking there. Sorry. Thank you.
We were talking.
So New Year's Eve, we made it official, I guess.
Yep,
we
he
went
asked
Facebook
me.
official.
Oh,
I
that's
was like, are we going to do this
He
for real or
asked
what?
me.
And then, but that was the same January. It was 3 days later I started Logan. And then, let's see, it was the following year. So I started in 2014.
I was still at Lindenwood at that time.
Yeah. So started 2014. She was still at Lindenwood. She graduated that May. The following April, so April of 15, we got engaged in Pittsburgh. So that was, that's a longer story, but I had it all figured out. I'm like, Lauren, you got to take her to get her nails done.
Yeah.
I have family ties in Pittsburgh. My best friend is from Pittsburgh, who was also in our wedding. So it was just like, hey, we're going to go to Pittsburgh and hang out. So it wasn't like, wonder
why are we going to Pittsburgh?
No, like because I knew that Pittsburgh was really special to him. And it just worked out again. Like you just said, like, Jeff was there. Like, I just thought we were all going to hang out. He faked me out like 6 times that day. So I think, he faked me out actually so many times that I was like, oh, it's actually not happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And the final one actually, like, he did. And it was phenomenal. It was at night. It was up the mountain and it was overlooking the city lit up.
Aww.
It was so pretty.
Yeah.
And I was wearing really cute heels. I looked good.
So that was 2016 we got engaged. You want me to finish
2016 we
off
got
that
married.
timeline, or you want?
No.
So 2016
We got married in 2016.
or 2015 we got engaged, and then June of the following year we were married. So I was still in school.
Yeah.
So that's my second year, and then so that was June 18th, 2016.
Saturday.
I graduated April 22nd of 2017. So almost a year married. Turned 30 on the 23rd, opened the practice August 2nd of 17, had our first son August 28th of 17, and then we've had 2 years after that. So that was kind of like our immediate relationship start
Yeah.
to the 3 kids we have now.
Yeah.
So it was like year timeline, just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
When you know, you know.
Yeah, literally. And something that I had to come to terms with was actually having kids.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, I literally just was like, I'm going to be a star. Like, not because people told me I was going to be. That was like my aspiration. I spent an entire high school semester, don't do this, of like history class, like creating my star signature.
Right.
Like I literally, perfect. Did I learn anything that semester? Absolutely not. But like, that's always was my thing.
Right.
So we went through, well, we didn't go through much of nothing, but he like helped me to realize like it was okay that my goals in life were changing because I did have like after Disney, which is also kind of crazy how God works, but there was a really, really bad storm while my mom and I were on the way home from like basically taking me back to St. Louis so that I could start in fall. I was supposed to actually stop somewhere and sign a contract with an agency. And the storm was so bad that we drove straight through. And so we were still in the talks with all of that. We were still doing the things. And like, then I met him and my life kind of...
Wasn't that Atlanta though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just drove through. We had to drive through it.
Because I told her, I was like, well, there's a chiropractic school in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So he's like, I will follow you. Like, it's okay. You can do this. We can still do this. And I was like, but the thing is like, I don't want it anymore.
Right.
And it was weird for me to like,
the way it just
be
works.
okay with not wanting it anymore.
Right.
And then I was like, because I like it, then is when I started realizing like, I want kids with this man. Like I want to actually like create a life together. And like that style of life, you can't have like a successful family. In my personal opinion, I've seen it happen and not happen. You know what I mean?
You were still at the age where that was very viable, not the kid part, but to have that kind, to go after that.
Right.
So that's why it's like me, I mean, yeah, I'm 6 years older, but I was like, look, I'll go to school at Life. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I could, at that point, I could get into any school I wanted to. I had done my time and I could go wherever I wanted.
Right. And he was like, I'll transfer. Like, we can do this. Like, it's really okay. And I had to come to terms with, no, I don't want it anymore. Yeah. And it took me a hot minute and like a real good cry to be finally okay with like, I really do want kids. And like, I wouldn't trade the life we have now for the world. Like I love being a mom. I loved everything about each of my pregnancies. I loved labor. I loved delivery. Like I loved all of it. Postpartum, breastfeeding, everything.
Right.
Like it's probably one of the,
she loved everything about what it took to make and have kids.
Okay. Of course that too. But like, so it's real full circle for all of it. Like if you have an aspiration in life, this is another life lesson. If you have an aspiration in life and, you know, a lot of people are like, don't change for a man or like, it's okay. If it's the wrong man, absolutely don't follow him to the ends of the earth. But like, if it's somebody that you truly, truly care about, like it's okay to have your aspiration flipped a little bit if it's for you. Well, like if it's actually what you are wanting and not what the guy is trying to get out of you.
Exactly. Yep. And also too, and that's a good point, is it's like I said, when you know, you know. Yeah. But if you're gonna be like, you know what, he's gonna be happier if I stay. No, that ain't it.
That's hard no.
Like noble for you, love where your heart's at. But if you're trying to justify by making somebody else feel better, that's not not at all why to do
and
it.
That's exactly why I knew that it was like, okay, this is it. Right. Because like it was me wanting something different, not wanting something different for him. It was really quite a powerful experience.
Your life's vision looked different.
Yes.
And if more people knew, just even decision making, because that's a big deal. It's like, you know, you do get attached to people and you do love people and those things do come up and it's like, do you stay together? Do you make this work, or how can you fudge around it? But if you're, I said this to my mom one time, I was like, if I'm so worried about what are they going to do without me, or what are they going to be okay? And that's okay. Like from a heart, not from like, I'm the greatest thing to happen to, like not from that, but like, I don't want to hurt them. Are they going to be okay? Or are they going to lose themselves? If you're so worried, you can't worry so much about that, because if you're going to help somebody not lose themselves, you're probably going to lose yourself. Right. And if you lose yourself in the process, like you have to be aware of that. So like I'm a big forecaster. So talking on this topic and a little bit of our story, I mean, yeah, that's cool that came out, because I do want people to know, whether it's here or, you know, in their life, their health, their careers, their relationships. It's like, don't be so blinded and jaded to not, to losing yourself, like watching somebody else lose themselves and then lose yourself in the process.
Yeah.
Dangerous place to be.
Something too that Alex, our +2, actually said to me after we got engaged, was like, they used to talk all the time and they used to have conversations. And she was like, honestly, Erika, he's grown so much with you. And she said, I have told him, or I don't know if she actually told you, but she said, I have told him that like he shouldn't have kids, but the first person that I've ever experienced, like, you guys should have kids.
Yeah.
Like, I could see him actually being a dad with you.
Right.
And that was really cool to hear too, because like up until that point, like both of our personalities were kind of like just super dog, like independent,
super driven.
Super
like we knew
driven.
what we wanted. We were going after it.
Yeah.
And it's not that, because she did tell me that. She's like, when do you plan on having kids? Because I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Because I was so tunnel visioned. It's like, here's what I wanted to do. Here's the life I wanted to create for myself. Because I wanted to be able to create for myself what I wanted to create for somebody else. Or at least give the opportunity for them to have whatever they wanted.
Right.
So I was just so like narrow, honed in, like I was a missile at that point. So things changed.
Yeah.
What else you got?
When did you know you wanted to start your own practice?
17.
17?
17. I'm
What
like,
made
no.
you like think that?
Uh,
Like when did you wake up and you're like, I'm going to do it?
So football injury in high school is what brought me to chiropractic.
Right.
If I wasn't going to play ball, I was going to be a chiropractor. But at that time, I'm like, there was no like, oh, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to work under somebody else. It's just like, if I'm going to go, I'm whole ass in it. Like just straight.
Yeah.
But also too, is it's like, I'll also have some vision about what the status quo and what looks typical as far as being an associate and what it takes to, even in law, it would be like becoming a partner.
Right.
Into law, it'd be like what it takes to become a partner, or and it's just like I didn't want to have to rely on that.
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, I also knew the freedom that comes with doing that.
Right.
So if I wanted to create the lifestyle I wanted, needed, and deserved, then I'm going to get after it.
Yeah.
And so I just always knew, and I wanted to be able to build people up underneath me the way that I would have wanted. So if I can put myself in that position and build something that's bigger than myself and build a brand that people want to be a part of, not because they need a job, but it's like, I want to be a part of that. And I feel like I saw that with, I shouldn't say a lot or most, but with, I never really felt like anybody created a brand or a mission with their office that I was exposed to. I'm not saying there's not any out there, but, I wanted to build something bigger than myself to have continued to go and really truly create a genuine impact.
Yeah.
So that was a part of that thought process too. Even at that age, I was like, well, I just want it to be bigger. I want the freedom. I want to build. I want to have an impact. I want to be able to be available for people in whatever capacity.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest why. I'll just jump into that real quick. My biggest why in life is, why do you do what you do? It's because I just want to be available.
Right.
I want to be available with my time. I want to be able to go to my kids' games. I want to be available to go to the beach. I want to be able to available to cut a check to organizations or schools. I just want to be available.
Right.
And so that was just what I based a lot of my decisions on when going throughout that, and still do to this day.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's really evident in us now.
Right.
Too. And then like whenever you started, were you just like, basically like, all right, well, I'm starting my own practice, so you're either in or you're out. Like, how did that go, basically?
We originally, I was not going to be in the practice.
Yeah.
I still had aspirations to dance.
Right.
In a studio capacity. So I was still, I was working full-time as a studio instructor, and then I was working at St. Dominic already. And I didn't have time with Kenton and everything. I was very pregnant when we first opened, and I was like, I don't have the capacity right now. Right. But I quickly stepped into the practice.
Yeah.
They grew so fast at the start that they actually needed more.
Right.
It was my sister-in-law and myself. Bella was freaking awesome, and we forged this thing together.
Yeah.
From the beginning, and it was all understood, and it was good. And then, as life changes and transitions, and Erika then wanted to be more in the office, and Bella had to transition out.
Right.
And so it was nice to have her come back in.
Yeah. But I've been in and out of the practice for 7 years now.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Yeah.
I love it.
Perfect. Let's finish up with some rapid fire.
Ooh.
You ready?
We love
Ready.
rapid fire.
All right. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
Salted caramel.
Favorite color?
Pink. But like a dusty rose pink. Sorry.
Which never used to be that way. It used
No.
to be highlighter yellow.
Yeah.
Times change.
I know, she had kids, and like the hormone says, you like pink now.
It was true. I didn't
so
even
odd.
I did not like pink until
Yeah,
Cammy.
it was so odd.
I kid you not.
It's Cammy. That's why.
Purple.
Well, yeah. We know. But what shade?
Who'da
Purple.
guessed?
Silver.
What shade of purple?
Like royal purple.
No, lilac.
Bam. Purple.
We're not going fuchsia. We're not going pastels. We're not going, what is periwinkle, that weird purple? Like, no,
Yeah.
it's purple. Like, purple.
Purple.
Favorite weather?
Oh shoot, this one's hard. Missouri. Favorite Missouri weather.
Yes.
Or favorite weather overall.
Missouri.
Fall, because I love that it's warm in the morning and then it gets cold at night. Like a perfect fall day. But like otherwise, beach weather, like 80, and I can sit out, and if it's not fall, it better be 80 degrees and I can be on the beach.
Yeah.
True.
I like spring. Spring weather. Humidity doesn't really bother me unless it's like today where it's like 136% humidity.
You're swimming
But
through
yeah,
the air.
I like spring. It also means it's race season. So,
True.
but it still
That's
gets cool at
true.
night, and you get the dew in the morning, and it's pretty like, you know, the 70 to 82 range. Sunny, a little bit of a breeze.
Right.
I like it.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like it all. That's why we're still in Missouri. I love the.
By the time you get sick of it changes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love the
It does
seasons.
change very frequently.
Like I definitely want a Florida house. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Florida, but I love the seasons so much.
This is rapid fire.
Sorry.
Yeah, rapid fire.
I'm really
Rabs
bad at rapid fire, guys.
Rabs rapid fire.
Gold or silver jewelry?
Gold.
I
You
don't
like-
care. Whatever looks better.
Thought you liked silver.
I do like silver, but sometimes my skin tone, like, it'll go darker, and gold could look better. Like, so it doesn't bother me either way.
I used to be silver. My wedding ring is white gold.
But I think I would towards silver. I mean, like, if this watch was gold, it'd be too gaudy for me.
Yeah.
And I love gold.
Iced or hot coffee?
That's a
I'll go
tough one,
rapid.
too.
Hot.
Yeah, I was like,
If I had to choose, iced.
Well, she's asking you to choose.
No, I know. But like, it's hard for me because I do actually like both. Because a lot of people don't. You don't like iced coffee.
She does. She'll take the hot coffee, and she doesn't drink it all. She'll put it in the fridge, so she turns it into iced coffee.
I do.
because hot
I
coffee
do.
can be both sometimes.
Yes. Yep. That's what I do. I save the extra that we have from the morning and I make it iced for the
Yeah.
later
As
in the
black
day.
as this microphone cover too. That's
Yeah.
how I like it.
Weird. Favorite holiday?
Valentine's Day. I love love. For no other reason. It has nothing to do with like Valentine's Day, like stereotypical or anything like that. It's like I just love love and I
Yeah.
get to love extra hard on people that day. It makes me happy.
That's hard. Morally, I do enjoy Christmas and Easter, but not to be cliche, I'd say 4th of July.
Yeah.
4th of July, Labor Day, where it's hot. You can go to the beach. You can ass in sand, drink in hand.
Yeah.
Ass and sand, drink in hand. I like that.
4th
All
of
right.
July.
Last one. Stanley or Yeti?
Yeti.
Stanley. Sponsor us.
Did you say Yeti?
Yeti.
You don't like your manly?
Oh, gee. They've done a really good job with our Pure Athlete Cups, our
Heck
Vital
yeah.
Performance Cups. They actually sponsor Gordy Gundaker. But I've been very loyal to Yeti. And yes, I'd love to have a
I have
handled
not
Yeti
been.
cup like that. But yeah, I'd go Yeti.
Yeah, I'm a Stanley fan. I didn't used to be, but then I got one.
I love anything that keeps my drinks cold, so
There you go.
doesn't matter.
This was so fun.
This was super fun.
Ha.
There you go. You signing us off?
See ya.